Imagine for a moment that every dream you've ever had was never just a dream, that the fleeting images, the surreal landscapes, the faces you've never met but somehow know were never random. What if they were messages carefully folded into the fabric of your subconscious, sent across the veils of time and space by you, but not the you that you know, not the you reading these words? This is the hidden truth. Your dreams are interdimensional checkpoints. They are the whispers of parallel selves, the echoes of choices unmade, the shadows of lives you've lived in other worlds. Every night, when you close your eyes, you are not just sleeping, you are traveling. You are meeting versions of yourself who took a different path, who loved differently, who fought different battles, who became something beyond what you've dared to imagine. And they are trying to tell you something. For centuries, dreams have been dismissed as misfiring neurons, as the mind's way of cleaning house. But what if science, in its obsession with the measurable, has missed the deeper mystery? Ancient cultures knew better. The Egyptians built temples for dream incubation. The Aboriginal Australians spoke of the dream time as a dimension beyond time. The mystics of old, from Jung to the seers of Atlantis, understood that dreams are a bridge between worlds. And now, in this age of quantum revelation, we are rediscovering what they always knew. Consciousness is not confined to the body, and the dream state is its most liberated form. Think of the last time you woke up with a lingering emotion, a sadness, a joy, a terror that had no origin in your waking life. Or the déjà vu that strikes like lightning, the faces in your dreams that feel more familiar than your own reflection. These are not glitches, they are transmissions. Your parallel selves are reaching out, sending you warnings, guidance, even gifts, encoded in symbols, emotions, and fragments of story. This is not fantasy. This is the next frontier of human understanding. The multiverse is no longer just a theory. It is a framework slowly being unveiled by physics, by consciousness studies, by the brave explorers who dare to ask, what if we are more than this one life? And if that is true, then your dreams are the most direct line of communication between all possible versions of you. So tonight, when you close your eyes, ask yourself, who is dreaming inside me? What are they trying to say? The answers are waiting. Not in the waking world, but in the liminal space between sleep and awakening, where the boundaries of self dissolve and the infinite becomes possible. If this idea stirs something in you, if it feels less like a theory and more like a remembering, then you are already on the threshold. The journey is just beginning. Like, comment, and subscribe if you wish to go deeper, to unravel the codes of your nocturnal voyages, and to step into the truth that your dreams are not yours alone, they belong to the multiverse. There is a hidden architecture to your dreams, an invisible scaffolding built not by chance, but by the laws that govern all realities. To understand them as messages from parallel selves, we must first grasp the principles that allow such communion to exist. This is not mysticism divorced from reason. It is the meeting point of ancient wisdom and the most daring edges of modern science. Consider first the principle of non-locality, the quantum revelation that particles can influence one another instantaneously across vast distances, defying the speed of light. If subatomic matter can communicate beyond space and time, why not consciousness? Your dreaming mind, unshackled from the body's constraints, may operate under the same rules, a single awareness, distributed across infinite versions of itself, whispering between branches of the multiverse. When you dream of falling, of flying, of standing in a city you've never visited yet know intimately, these could be sensory echoes from lives being lived elsewhere, bleeding through the veil. Then there is the holographic nature of reality, the theory that the universe is a projection, a cosmic interplay of information where every fragment contains the whole. Your dreams, then, are not just personal vignettes but microcosms, of the greater tapestry. A single symbol, a locked door, a storm, a mirror that won't reflect you, might hold the key to understanding not just your own struggles, but a universal pattern playing out across dimensions. The locked door in your dream could be the same door your parallel self is facing, their fingers brushing the handle just as yours do in sleep. And what of time? Linear time is an illusion, a convenience for the waking mind. Dreams collapse past, present, and future into a single moment. You might dream of a childhood home, only to realize, upon waking, that the emotions there belong to a version of you who never left, or one who will return decades from now. The physicist Julian Barber proposed that time is a landscape, with every moment eternally existing. If so, your dreams are the trails you walk between peaks, glimpsing vistas that logic says should be separate, but the soul knows are one. Yet, the most profound mechanism is resonance, the magnetic pull that draws certain dreams to you and not others. Not every parallel self will reach through the dark. The ones you encounter are those whose frequencies align with your deepest questions, your unresolved wounds, your unmet potential. A dream of drowning might be the warning of a self who succumbed to despair. A dream of speaking a language you don't know could be the triumph of a self who mastered it against all odds. They are not random. They are reflections, calling you toward the versions of reality where your choices led elsewhere. This is why symbols repeat, why certain dreams leave you gasping awake with a certainty that defies explanation. Your mind is not generating these visions, it is receiving them. And the senders are closer than you think. There is a language older than words, written in the symbols that rise from the depths of your dreaming mind. These are not arbitrary images, but living archetypes, echoes of the stories that shape all realities. To understand them is to decipher the dialogue between your many selves, a conversation that transcends time and space. Consider the mirror, that ancient portal between worlds. When you dream of your reflection moving independently, or of a mirror that shows someone entirely different staring back, you are glimpsing the fundamental truth of parallel existence. You are not singular. The mirror is the boundary where selves meet, where identities blur and exchange whispers. In countless myths, mirrors are gateways. The Lady of Shalot's cursed glass, the Yuki Onna's icy reflection, the quantum mirrors of Borges's Book of Sand that contain infinite variations. Your dreaming mind knows this instinctively. When you stand before a mirror in a dream, you are not alone. You are in the presence of the other yous. Then there is the bridge, suspended between realms, its far end vanishing into mist. Every culture dreams of bridges, Bifrost in Norse myth, the Chinvat Bridge of Zoroastrianism, the narrow bridge of the Tzaddikim trembling over the abyss. These are not mere metaphors. When you dream of crossing a bridge, you are enacting the soul's journey between versions of reality. The bridge may be sturdy or crumbling, crowded or desolate. Each detail a message about the stability of the path your parallel selves are walking. Somewhere, in another world, another you is crossing that same bridge in the opposite direction. And in the moment your footsteps meet at the center, knowledge is exchanged beneath the level of words. And what of the lost child that appears so often in dreams? The version of yourself young and vulnerable, wandering empty streets or calling from a crowd. This is no simple metaphor for innocence. The child is a living fragment of your potential, a self who branched off at some critical juncture where you chose one path and they another. They carry what you forgot, what you sacrificed, what you might still reclaim. In Aboriginal Dreamtime traditions, the lost child is both memory and prophecy, a signpost between worlds. When you dream of finding them, or failing to, you are being shown the roads not taken and the price of each. Even the most mundane dream objects are charged with meaning. A key glinting in sunlight is not just a key. It is the precise shape of a door waiting in another reality. A storm on the horizon is not mere atmosphere. It is the emotional climate of a self caught in upheaval. The symbols are alive because the selves sending them are alive, breathing and striving in worlds as real as this one. This is why certain dreams leave us shaken, why we wake with the eerie sense that we've touched something vast. The symbols are not passive images but living conduits, the shared vocabulary of the multiverse. The true power of this understanding lies not in passive wonder, but in active participation. If dreams are indeed messages from parallel selves, then each night becomes an opportunity, not merely to observe, but to engage, to question, and even to collaborate across the boundaries of being. This is where philosophy transforms into lived experience, where the mystical becomes tangible in your daily life. Begin with lucid dreaming, the art of becoming aware within the dream state. This is not mere fantasy control, turning nightmares into rainbows or summoning celebrity encounters, but something far more profound. When you realize you are dreaming, you gain the ability to consciously interface with the symbols and entities present. Imagine asking the lost child in your dream, "What did I forget?" Or stepping through that mirror, not with fear, but with the deliberate intent to meet what waits beyond. Tibetan dream yogis have practiced this for centuries, using lucidity to navigate the bardo states between lives. For you, it becomes a tool to dialogue directly with alternate versions of yourself. The key is to approach not as a tourist, but as a respectful visitor. These are not figments, but other lives sharing the same vast consciousness that you are. Then there is the practice of dream incubation, where you set an intention before sleep to receive specific guidance. This is not simply thinking hard about a problem, but a ritual of trust, an act of surrendering the question to the broader network of your being. Ancient Greeks slept in the temples of Asclepius, seeking healing visions. You might instead create a simple ritual. Light a candle, whisper a question into your palms, "Show me the path my boldest self took," or "Why do I keep dreaming of the flooded house?" Then let it go. The answer may not come that night, or in obvious form, but when it arrives, as a sudden knowing upon waking, as a symbol that repeats across weeks, you will recognize it as a dispatch from somewhere beyond ordinary thought. Even without full lucidity, you can practice synchronicity tracking, the art of noticing how dream symbols manifest in waking life. That strange coin you dreamed of might appear days later in a sidewalk crack. The unfamiliar name spoken in your dream could scroll past on a random web page. These are not coincidences, but confirmation that the boundaries are porous. Keep a journal not just of dreams, but of these waking echoes. Over time, patterns emerge that reveal which parallel selves are most active in your current journey. The implications ripple outward. If you accept that your choices in this life send ripples across the multiverse, that every decision branches new realities, then indecision itself takes on new weight. The paralysis you feel at a crossroads might be the collective hesitation of all your parallel selves, each waiting for the other to move first. Conversely, bold actions send shockwaves of alignment through the network. That sudden surge of courage you feel, the inexplicable certainty to quit the job, to confess love, to book the flight, may be the momentum of 1,000 other yous who already took the leap and are now pulling you forward. This is the secret. You are never acting alone. Every choice is a collaboration with the yous who chose differently. When you change, they change. When they break through, you feel the tremor. The dreams are just the most visible part of an endless conversation. As we stand at the edge of this revelation, a profound truth becomes undeniable. You are far more than the single, solid self you present to the world each morning. You are a convergence point, a living nexus where countless potentialities meet, speak, and evolve together. The dreams you once dismissed as meaningless are in fact the most intimate correspondence you will ever receive, written in the ink of alternate lives and sealed with the stamp of cosmic kinship. This understanding changes everything. No longer can you view your nighttime journeys as mere mental ephemera. Each dream is a council fire where your multiversal selves gather. That recurring dream of the airport where you're always running late. It's not just anxiety, it's a chorus of selves who made different choices about timing and purpose, urging you to examine where in your life you might still catch the flight. The strange dreams where you possess skills you don't have in waking life. Speaking fluent Mandarin, playing virtuoso piano, aren't fantasies, but glimpses of paths actually walked by other versions of you. The implications ripple backward through your waking hours. That sudden inspiration that solves a problem at work, it may be the insight of a self who dedicated their life to that field. The unexplained aversion you feel towards certain people or places, perhaps a distant self's warning echoing across the vibrational threads that connect you. You are beginning to sense the truth. There is no such thing as a solitary mind. Consciousness is a collaborative phenomenon, and your brain is merely the radio receiver tuned to one particular frequency of the infinite broadcast. This is why ancient traditions place such importance on dream work, why Egyptian priests kept meticulous dream journals, why indigenous shamans journeyed for visions, why Tibetan monks practiced dream yoga. They understood that the sleeping state is not subordinate to waking life, but its equal counterpart in a grand dialogue of being. Now, armed with both this ancient wisdom and the emerging science of consciousness, you stand at the threshold of a new relationship with your own existence. The call now is not just to understand, but to participate. Tonight, before sleep, try this. Set a sacred space. Light a candle or place a glass of water by your bedside as an offering to your other selves. The act matters less than the intention. You're signaling readiness to communicate. Ask a specific question, not "show me the future," but something like, "What does my most joyful self want me to know?" Or, "How do I overcome specific challenge?" Precision matters in interdimensional communication. Receive without judgment when fragments come. Upon waking or in days following as synchronicities, resist the urge to dismiss them as coincidence. The multiverse speaks in patterns, not proofs. Act on the guidance. This is where most fail. If your dreams highlight creativity, but you keep ignoring your art, the messages will grow faint. Your parallel selves respond to action. It's the language they understand best. The final revelation is this. You are both the student and the teacher in this grand experiment of consciousness. Every insight you integrate from your dreams doesn't just transform you, it elevates the entire network of your being. When you heal a wound in this life, 100 other versions of you feel the suture. When you find courage here, it becomes available everywhere. This is your invitation to live as what you truly are, a multidimensional being having a focused human experience. Your dreams were never just dreams. They are love letters from the universe, written in the handwriting of your own soul across time and space. If this journey has resonated with you, if you feel the truth of it in your bones more than your logic, then the connection has already begun. Like, subscribe, and share this message with others who are ready to awaken. The greatest adventures lie not before us or behind us, but in the infinite spaces between our many selves, waiting to be explored one conscious dream at a time. The question now is, which version of you will you become tonight?